Hi there, Let's Talk Sports fans. Thanks for tuning in.
Good evening, everybody. Welcome to another LTS show. I am your host, Bodkins. Oh, man, what a weekend it was. If you missed the Bodkins show last night, please check that. I had the one and only great Ed in Columbus from We Like Sports show. It was great. We talked all things Cleveland. Just a great conversation. So please check that out after this show. But, man, it was a great weekend in sports. We had a lot of the NBA going on. The Knicks and Cavs and Pacers. Knicks and Pacers are actually playing right now. Cavs advanced yesterday. The only game 7 that happened. The Magic had an 18, almost 20-point lead and blew it. Cavs will now take on the Celtics. So all the West matchups up. Our second-round matchups are set. You had Anthony Edwards taking on the Nuggets and winning game 1 and out west. So, man, what an incredible weekend. My Cubs take 2 out of 3 from the Brewers, baby, in first place. Can't wait to talk to Jonathan about that tonight. Plus, the first hour, we'll have Jim Biringer on talking to us all about the hockey playoffs. The Bruins survive and advance through game 7. So we'll be getting into all that stuff, plus a little bit of wrestling. Backlash. I mean, even if you're not a wrestling fan, just go tune into that crowd, that France crowd. It was just incredible scenes there. So please check that, so we'll talk with Jim about that as well. But we'll go ahead. We'll bring in some guys. I mentioned Knicks and Pacers going at it right now. They got to beat, folks. This is Knicks versus the Hicks. And luckily for us on our show, we have Mr. New York Nick, Johnny Cruz, and now Mr. Indiana Pacer. Hopefully these guys won't have as big as beef as Kendrick and Drake, and we'll find out who Kendrick is and who Drake is here in just a minute. But go ahead, Mr. Yankee Finn and Sam, come on in the show, baby.
I challenge you to a Hell in the Cell match, Johnny. 5 minutes of playtime for you and me, baby.
I'm not afraid of any of that smoke you got, Sam. Just go ahead and bring it. No, man, you mentioned the NBA playoffs. It's been a lot of fun. Like you mentioned, the Knicks and Pacers are playing right now. So that's going to be an interesting series. Anthony Edwards going into Denver and taking game 1 from the Denver Nuggets. That was cool to see. That was an interesting game there. You mentioned Orlando with that huge 18-point lead against the Cavs, and they coughed it right up to Donovan Mitchell and company. So the NBA playoffs have been fun so far. The hockey playoffs, I mean, is anybody going to beat Florida? Florida took out my Tampa Bay Lightning in a gentleman's sweep of 5 games. So it's been a lot of fun, man. A lot of fun sports going on. A lot of good sports weekend, and looking forward to what's ahead as well.
Yeah, me too, Johnny. I mean, the Knicks, Pacers tied 64-64 right now in the third. Sam, I'm going to give you a little backdrop. These two teams actually, Johnny knows, there's a lot of history with the franchise. I know you're a newly anointed Pacer fan, but the choking, I mean, this is like, for some reason, I don't know why I just didn't think about it until earlier today. Was like, oh shit, man, all the rivalries that the Pacers and the Knicks used to have, and now it's kind of, now I know it's all new franchise, new teams pretty much, but just for the fans though, Johnny, I mean, you grew up in that kind of the Hicks versus the Knicks in the 90s, early 2000s.
It was a lot of fun times back then. Yeah, I've mentioned it before. I'm not a diehard New York Knicks fan. I support the Knicks. I want the Knicks to do well because of my New York blood. The best part of being the type of Knicks fan that I am right now, is that I can enjoy the Knicks, but I don't have the same heartbreak when they lose. You know what I'm saying? Like I ain't all mad and hating the world when they lose. If they lose, it is what it is. You'll say it's not like my Yankees or the Dolphins, but no, I remember those games. I remember watching that 8 seconds live when Reggie Miller just went off on the Knicks to win that game. So there's been a lot of rivalry, they were a huge rival in the mid to late 90s. The reason you forgot about it, Nick, is because both teams suck pretty much for the last 20 years. You know what I'm saying? So it hasn't been worth watching. But Indiana's got a nice young squad led by Tyrese Halliburton and company, and then Jalen Brunson and what he's done with the Knicks. So it's nice to have that rivalry renewed now. It's a lot of fun, man. I'm interested to see how this series goes. I think it's going to be a long one. I think this is going to be a 6 or 7 game battle here. It's contradicting styles. You know what I'm saying? Indiana wants to run up the court as fast as possible. New York is all about toughness, playing defense, hard-nosed defense, and kind of slowing the game down a little bit. So it's going to be interesting to see how this all plays out. It should be a lot of fun.
Alan, thanks for watching, but be careful out there, bud.
Yes, definitely. Yeah. Everybody in the middle of the
Oklahoma,
country, man. That's crazy,
Nebraska
bro.
area. Yeah, they're all going to get.
Man, be safe out there, people.
Yeah, you're right, Johnny. It is a matchup of styles. Styles make fights, and they make these games. And back to that Knicks Sixers series, though, they were in the 6 games. They were total up all the points. They were separated by 1 point. So it goes to show you how good that series was. And here the Knicks got to run through Indiana, tough Indiana team who just knocked off the 3-seeded Milwaukee. They're riding high. They got to feel pretty good as well. So it's going to be interesting what happens. And you mentioned it the Saturday, man. This playoff series. I felt like last year was like the nationwide, right, of like Jamal Murray, Jokic, outcoming, right? This is going to be the Anthony Edwards
coming out party.
Coming out party. Thanks. That's the word I was looking for. Coming out party. Like the world's going to know who Anthony Edwards is. Like this kid that's like dead serious. It's funny. I think all of us picked the Nuggets in that series. And now Jamal Murray's danged up, and he can't play. He's
he ain't healthy.
He's not healthy. He's not healthy. I can't talk tonight for some reason. But he's not healthy. And and now it's like Edwards. Everyone's like, T-Wolves probably win this thing in 6. I think that could go 7 as well.
Yeah, this is one of those matchups that we talked about. Could be a long series. We mentioned, like you said, we all picked Denver to win. That they're the defending champs. They got the Joker. But Minnesota has everything you need to beat Denver. They got all the length. They got the defensive ability on their squad. They're deep. And they got a stud who is a killer, and he loves being a killer, and he is not afraid to tell you that he's coming for your throat, which is something that us older heads really like about him. He's a throwback type player where it's not none of that buddy. You know what I'm saying? Let's go out and chill. He's trying
intimidation, baby.
Right. He's trying to destroy you on that court. So I love that mentality. You know what I'm saying? Like, yeah, he talked about in the first series against the Suns that Kevin Durant was his favorite player, was his GOAT, but that it was his time. It was his time to get him out of the way. And now he was talking before the series started with Denver, talking about, they knocked out LeBron, so I need to take care of them now. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So I love that mentality, and he's got the game to back it up. You know what I'm saying? So that makes it even that much more fun.
And he's only 22 years old. Like,
yes, he's a baby, bro.
That's what's insane is he's only 22 years old. His body's not even fully developed into like muscle. No. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And that's one thing they were talking to is like his game, his mid-range game is like that's usually that comes something later for guys, and he's already killing it in people's faces. And what we all too remember is the guy is great at both ends. Like it's not just like he's a great offensive player. He's got a huge ass highlight. One of his highlights of the year is him fucking blocking a shot and hitting his head off the backboard. Like the guy plays great defense. He's the ultimate competitor. Like this kid, I'm a huge fan. If you know what I mean, let him be the face of the league. He's been in movies and things like that as well. He's got great personality. I'm all for it. It's great, fresh face, and I talked about it on Thursday. We're turning over the new leaf in the NBA. as far as these young kids. We're watching it tonight. Jalen Brunson and Sam's Halliburton in Indiana. Like, yeah, Anthony Edwards, man. The league is in good hands. It's going to be in good hands for the next few years.
And in sports, it's always better when you have your heroes and villains, right?
Yeah.
It's always better. Charles Barkley was such an asshole. And then, Reggie Miller, what an asshole. It's always great when you have your villains and your heroes and, when it comes down to it. And then they have those epic playoff commercials where they're just so well cut and everything, and you're hyped for it or whatever. So, I live for that kind of thing. I live for the story. I live for dare I say, mythology of it.
The drama of it does make it a lot more interesting. Like you mentioned, the good against bad, saying heroes against the villains and stuff. And it helps if the villains are actually good players as well. You know what I'm saying? If you're a sucky villain, it doesn't really matter. But you got good young players. Nick, you mentioned it. The NBA is in good hands with all this good young talent. We didn't even mention the unanimous Rookie of the Year today with Wemby down in San Antonio. Get that kid a point guard, please.
Slender man.
So it's good. I'm excited about the league. I'm excited about the new blood. I'm okay to get past KD and get past LeBron. Steph can still shoot the ball, so he'll still be playing. But I like this new young crop of players that we got. We mentioned Orlando losing, but they got a stud in Paolo Banchero.
Yeah, Franz Wagner. I really like that team.
That's what I'm saying. I don't know exactly what it is that they missing, but they missing maybe a nice experience. A savvy vet to kind of help guide them maybe at the point guard position or something. But
I like Suggs and Cole Anthony. You know what team they remind me of? I was watching them, and that team didn't get to live very long because they traded everybody away to get Shaq. Remember when the Heat had Caron Butler, Lamar Odom, Dwayne Wade? It was these three really good young 21, 20-year-old players. And it's man, if they much like the Thunder too, right? They had Durant, Harden, Westbrook. That's the magic right now. They just got to, and I don't mean they need a veteran experience. They just don't have experience playing enough yet.
Right.
You know what I mean? This is kind of.
I want to say Paolo's what 20, 21.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And the Wagner brothers. You know what I'm saying?
They're all young.
They're all young. Suggs, you mentioned. Cole is really young. So that Orlando Magic team, for all the Orlando Magic fans out there, you should be excited about the potential of your team.
All the years you guys, all the draft picks.
You finally hit on some good picks there. So that team's going to be a lot of fun to watch. We'll see what happens at Cleveland, because Cleveland has a lot of good young talent too. We'll see if they can extend Donovan Mitchell and if he stays there. But like we mentioned, Joker's not that old. Jamal Murray's still young. You mentioned OKC. Shea Gillis Alexander is a hell of a ball player. He's young too. Chet Holmgren over there in OKC too. So a lot of good young talent in the NBA, man. It's a lot of fun to watch this new blood. And these new rivalries starting to kick up, because depending on what happens with this Minnesota and Denver thing, that could be a battle for the next several years, them along with OKC, and then we'll see what San Antonio does going forward with Wemby and company. But the NBA is in good hands. I got a question though, real quick. You mentioned the Heat. Now, Pat Riley, all due respect to Pat Riley, the man, the myth, the legend, he came out and basically told Jimmy Butler, hey, if you ain't out there playing, you need to just shut your mouth.
Shut the hell up,
What are y'all's thoughts on that? Because I love Jimmy Butler. I like Jimmy Butler. I love his game. But you do need to be out there on the court if you're going to be talking shit.
Yeah, so
what are your thoughts on that situation there?
So I think Jimmy is two things. Jimmy's mad because he couldn't play. So he's just y'all you know what I mean? Y'all motherfuckers.
Yeah, y'all lucky I couldn't play.
Yeah, you're lucky I couldn't play. You're lucky this asshole in Philly hit my knee and now I can't play. And Jimmy told that kid, hey, it's on site next time we see each other. So I'm all for it, and I also understand Pat Riley as a old head. You know what I mean? Pat Riley's been around. He's seen everybody. Pat Riley's been around this game forever. Pat Riley was against the team that Western Texas that started the first all 5 African American players, all 5 black players. He was on Kentucky playing against those guys. That's how long Pat Riley's been around the game of basketball.
Yes.
So then, you know what I mean? Then he's been around with Magic and Coach Magic, Alton Patrick Ewing, Shaq, LeBron. He's done it all. So he's seen it all. So he is right. Like, Jimmy, just shut up. But he also, then he said, we're also never trading Jimmy. Like, so there's that.
Oh,
so
yeah,
it's not like, you know, so he's like backing his guy all at the same time. Like, my phone ain't ringing if you're trying to trade for Jimmy Butler. Like, he's part of our guy. He's our culture. So I'm all for it on both ends. I'm all for Jimmy saying what he said, and then you got to be okay with. And I think he respects Pat enough too, right, to be like, to understand.
Yeah, Pat's got enough jewelry jingling in his pocket that he can pretty much say whatever he wants.
And then some, and then some.
And then he called Tyler Hero fragile, which ain't a lie.
Yeah,
but that's something you don't normally hear. The president of basketball ops calling your young star. I don't know. Can you even call Tyler Hero star? And I like Tyler Hero. He's got the ability. He does need to hit the weight room, I think. You know what I'm saying?
What do we consider a star, though? You know, the NBA put out a thing that said, could they consider a star? And I don't think Tyler Hero feels that.
I think he's a good player. He getting paid like a star, though, but that's just because basketball money is ridiculous now. But he's got incredible talent. He's just, I mean, Pat Riley hit it on the nose. You know what I'm saying? He is a bit fragile. He's gotten hurt the last couple of years. You know, he does need to hit that. I mean, Jimmy needs to pull his ass into the weight room and have that kid lifted some weights. Maybe he could stay healthy. But it's just weird to hear the president of the team calling one of his young good players fragile. But there were no lies told, so it is what it is. Tyler Hero's just going to have to take that.
Part of coaching and knowing the game, though, is knowing who can take it and who can't, and who needs a swift kick in the ass. You know what I mean? So that could be the play there. But yeah, like anybody said, he's more than earned his right to say whatever he wants when it comes to basketball, as far as I'm concerned. But I would guess that he's given him a nice swift kick in the ass to get,
I know you put this comment up there, but did we address it? Do you think? Do you feel like the media's ready? Because I don't think they are.
Yes and no. I think
they are sweating LeBron so much. I don't think they want him to go.
So the media, to me, the media is waiting for that next star, the like American star, especially, right? Right. You know, Jokic is a star, but like Jokic doesn't do press. Really, he doesn't do commercials.
Just wants his horses.
Yes,
no, I'm with you on that. You know what I'm saying? Because Luka's a star as well.
I just want to fucking get home. I hate he treats it like a job,
wants to play
right?
with his horse. He wants to play with his horses.
I think he even had a quote. I saw something. He's like, "Does anybody really like their job?" You know what I mean? Like,
Oh, the first domino to fall. Stephen A. went off on LeBron.
Well, I mean that's the popular thing to do. Perk, you know what I'm saying? Perk said that he wants him to retire. Again, LeBron loves the spotlight too much, so he's not going to retire. I'm glad that there's this nice influx of young, good talent to kind of keep it moving. So I'm looking forward. You know, not any type of LeBron hate, but I'm looking forward to move on past the LeBron and the media and all that stuff like that. But no, it's just interesting. I mean, the media is going to gravitate to the great players, and I'm with you on that, Nick. The fact that Anthony Edwards is an American-born player who's a great player, they're gonna gravitate to him because Joker is nice. Luka's a baller as well. Even Wemby, but they're all European players. So if Anthony Edwards can ball out and continue to progress, he will become the face of the league. If he makes a run here and they get to the Western Conference Finals or even to the NBA Finals and they lose, there's going to be so much hype around that kid next year. It's going to be insane. It's going to be a lot of fun.
I think as Americans, we love.
I think every team in the East, every team to me in the East, though, if you knock out the Nuggets, I think
it's wide open.
Wide open.
It's wide open. Yep.
You know what I mean? Like if you're Boston, you're looking, especially now with Porzingis, and they're going to have problems with Cleveland without Porzingis. Like, but if you're Boston and you're looking around and you're saying, man, we don't really match up well with the Nuggets, but we could match up well with the Timberwolves. What the Timberwolves do well, they have the size to match up with Gobert and Cat, right, to kind of run out there, and they guard. One thing that they did well on Saturday is they guard Jokic like a guard, almost more than just a big man. They pressured him right from the get. That would be great for the.
That'd be that'd
be great. I don't know if the league would have liked that. Maybe they would, because then you're allowed to build new stars. You know what I mean? You're building new stars,
right? Yes. If they market them, well for that series. I mean, I think a lot of people would be happy to watch that battle right there, the Timberwolves and Thunder.
I think the league.
You got two young budding superstars in Anthony Edwards and Shea, plus all the complimentary players too. You got Chet Holmgren, you got the Williams kid. I don't know if it's Jaden or Jalen Williams from OKC.
They're both Jalen Williams. They have two Jalen Williams.
They have two Jalen Williams. Well, the good one.
Won't be confusing.
It's a really good player. I believe he's the shooting guard or something like that. So they got some good young talent. We mentioned Anthony Edwards, Karl Anthony Towns on that Minnesota team, Rudy Gobert, of course. So I would enjoy that Western Conference final. I don't know about the TV people, but
I was going to ask: Does the league want Dallas though? Because Dallas has got Luka and Kyrie, who are well known more players than like Shea in the Thunder yet.
I think they'd probably get more. I think they'd probably get more viewership probably with Dallas because of Luka's greatness and Kyrie, for as much as for as polarizing as Kyrie can be and for irritating to some people, whatever. He's still a nasty, but he's still a great ball player.
Oh yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And they, he has taken the backseat to Luka, and he's accepted his role as a number 2, which was the best position for him because that's when he was at his best when he played with LeBron. You know what I'm saying? So he's playing off of Luka more, so they're actually playing very well together. I don't know how Adam Silver will feel about about Cuban being in the Western Conference Finals, but I think
he's going to chip before, you know what I mean?
Right. As far as the TV networks, I think they would probably prefer Dallas.
Yeah.
But you know what I'm saying, for basketball fans, I think I think either one will be a good matchup. You know what I'm saying? I mean, even Denver going up against either one of those is going to be good because of Joker's ability and his skill. Hopefully Murray can be somewhat healthy because they definitely need him.
Yeah, he's got he didn't get going in the he didn't have any points in the first half. Scored 13, I think, in the third. So he struggled.
But he's usually clutch in that fourth quarter when they need him. But yeah, he's gonna have to play a much better all around game if Denver's gonna have a chance because Minnesota's coming after them, man. So they bet, and that's the first time I ever saw the Joker kind of sped up. You know what I'm saying? Because he usually plays at his own pace, regardless.
Yeah.
It looked like he was trying to do more than he normally would against Minnesota. I don't know if it was the length that was bothering him or what, but I mean, this could be a bad matchup for those Denver Nuggets, man. But I'm loving the whole NBA playoffs, man. It's been a lot of fun, man. It's exciting.
Man. Yes, it has been. We got 82-87 here. Indiana up by 5 with 10 to about 11 to play here. So
okay, all right. So it's going right down to the wire. I mean, the Knicks don't win many blowout games. You know what I'm saying? They're a grinded out type team. They're definitely missing Julius Randle. So if those other role players aren't playing up to it, you know what I'm saying, it's hard for Brunson to carry the entire load. So he needs his team to kind of help him out as much as possible there. So this Indiana, that's a good matchup, man. You know what I'm saying? Indiana's got a lot of young talent, so I would not be surprised if Indiana wins this series, but I think it's going to go 6-7 games at least. I think it's going to be a lot of fun.
I do too. How is it right now? How is it after this game? Is it the T-Wolves and Nuggets after this? Where the hell? Their game 2 in the OKC series hasn't even started yet.
That's one thing about the NBA and their playoff schedule is their playoff schedule be some of the weirdest shit sometimes. Like sometimes they'll play game 1 and then they won't play for 3 or 4 days before game 2. I don't know who comes up with the NBA playoff schedule, but I wish it was just every other day, like every other sport does it. You know what I'm saying? You don't need 4 days off in between games.
Do you remember when the first couple of weeks of the NFL, they do 2 games on Monday night, and I'm like, for heaven's sake, dude! Like,
I actually don't mind the doubleheader Monday night football. You know what I'm saying? As long as they start the first one at 7. You know what I'm saying? You start the first one at 7. The second one starts at like 9:30 or whatever. That's not too bad.
But I got sleep. I got sleeps.
Our boys here. What's up, fellas? No one cares about OKC.
Oh, it's getting hot. Getting hot in the chat. The tension's palpable.
OKC's got a nice young squad, man. They were the number 1 team in the West for a reason, man.
Yeah.
They got a good young team. It's gonna be interesting to see how they go. But yeah, I'm with you, man. Yeah, game 2 tonight, Timberwolves Nuggets, and Mavericks Thunder doesn't start until tomorrow night. That's just
So let's while we're waiting on Jim, we'll just kind of wrap. Who do you got winning this series? The Knicks. Let's just say Knicks Pacers, Johnny.
Well, I mean, I want the Knicks to win. You know what I'm saying? But you know what I'm saying? I'm gonna be real. I just think they're really gonna miss Randall here. They're really gonna miss that number 2 guy. They did what they had to do, and they scratched and clawed their way past a tough Philly team. But even like you mentioned, even that was a close series for them to get through. Their guys play a lot of minutes. Indiana's got the younger legs. I'm gonna go Indiana in 6. Even though it would suck, and I would like the Knicks to move on, I just don't think they have enough to keep up with this Indiana team, because this Indiana team will try to run you out of the off the court, man. So I'm gonna pick Indiana in 6.
Sam,
I agree with my Knicks counterpart up there, graciously taking off the banner of fandom to tell the truth. But,
well, it's a lot easier when you're not like a diehard New York Knicks fan. You know what I'm saying? If I was a diehard delusional Knicks fan, I'd be like, the Knicks are gonna sweep these kids.
But I think it's gonna go.
I think it's going to
have a show coming out called Knicks and Knicks Only.
No, I do have. I will promote it now, just so people know. You know what I'm saying? Right here.
Aqua and orange. I mean, Knicks.
No more aqua and orange. No more pinstripe perspective. Life is not allowing me to do as many shows as I would like to do, so I will be doing the LTS show on Monday and Thursday nights, and then I'm putting something together with the super producer Tanner, and I'm just gonna have one show besides this show on LTS. It's gonna be Let's Talk Sports with Johnny Cruz. So I'm throwing it back to when I first started with Mr. Dan Harris, and I'll be talking baseball, basketball, football, WNBA, college. I'll talk about whatever sport I feel like talking about on that particular day. So that's going to be coming out in the next couple of weeks. So look for that. And then I am doing a Dolphin show, but it is on another network. It's going to be on the Can Do Sports Network with the same guys, Alex and Byron. They got something going on over there. So they invited me to be part of their Dolphin show over there. So I will do the Dolphin show over there, where I just got to show up and talk Dolphins with them. So it helps me out with what I'm going through right now in the home life. But I'll be here every Monday, Thursday with you guys. And then, like I said, Let's Talk Sports with Johnny Cruz will be coming in the next couple of weeks, where I'll talk everything and anything sports.
Nick and I get to sporadically just come on there whenever we want to.
Absolutely. Like I said, I'm gonna
tell you
I'm gonna talk whatever. I mean, of course, everybody knows, I'm a Yankee and Dolphin fan, but I'm gonna talk about all teams, all sports. I can't wait to talk some WNBA. That's gonna be starting out the next couple of weeks. Your girl Caitlin Clark, first game, dropped 21 on them already.
While we're on that subject, real quick, how about everybody saying she couldn't play and then she just goes out in a preseason game and just balls out?
Sure.
Like,
right,
you know what I mean?
breaking ankles, dropping dimes. I'm telling you right now, her and Aaliyah Boston are going to be a problem for the WNBA. So they better prepare themselves for that tandem right there, because the back-to-back number one overall picks, Aaliyah Boston last year out of South Carolina, and then now Caitlin Clark with her in Indiana. That Indiana Fever team is going to be a good team, man. It's going to be a lot of fun. The Liberty, my New York Liberty, going to be out there. So.
Yeah.
Yes.
Watch out for the Chicago Sky too. You know what I mean?
Yes. Oh, yes. Yes. They had a really nice draft too. This girl did get hurt though. The Cordosa girl. She's got a shoulder injury. She's gonna be out 4 to 6 weeks. So we'll see what they do there. But yeah, I'm excited to see Angel Reese. And all this whole draft class is gonna be a lot of fun. A nice influx of young talent coming into the WNBA. So if you like basketball, and these women, they battle. If you like basketball to its core, give the WNBA a shot. Check it out. It's a lot of fun to watch them play.
So Rec Room wants to know, too, they're curious how you feel about Odell Beckham. My opinion is it doesn't fucking matter. I mean, did he do anything in Baltimore? No.
For a second there, I thought Old Dirty Bastard was back alive again. And
hey, I care about that. Hey, I care about ODB, the real ODB.
Care about
ODB, superstar. That is what you are.
Yes. I think OBJ is a great fit for Miami as the number 3, especially at $3 million. Now I know Dolphin fans were tripping out. But it can go up to 8.5 with incentives. You know what? If he meets those incentives, that means we had a good year. So I'm all for it. You know what I'm saying? But for him,
or you had a bad year because Tyreek or Waddle got hurt. Yeah. In those
facts, but I try to look at the glass half full, unlike my man Nick here, who always looks at his glass of whiskey half empty. I'm looking at it half full here. But no, I think he's a perfect number 3. He can play the outside or the inside. He can play the outside, which allows Tyreek and Waddle to play in the slot. We also got Jonnu Smith. So I think he's a perfect number 3, exactly what we needed. And we didn't have to touch any of the money. We still got $18+ million coming to us June 1st, after the June 1st cut because of the cut of Xavier Howard. So we can finish off with those last couple pieces that we need to solidify our team. So I'm excited about it, man. I don't expect him to catch 100 balls and to do 1,300 yards, but if he catches 50, 60 passes and scores, 8 or 9 touchdowns, because the one thing he does have over Tyreek and Waddle is he actually catches the damn ball. You know what I'm saying? He's got great hands, and that's something that I cannot say for the Cheetah or the Penguin. I like it, Rec Room. Appreciate it though, but I wish ODB. I miss ODB, man.
You ready for
the good always go young, man.
He's the one with seafoam hair running down the,
Mm-hmm. Oh, so this was the rumor. I wanted to bring this up earlier while we're talking NFL. We'll get back to NBA. So I'm unsure if Jim's going to join us. He's having some technical difficulties. So, again, this is NFL rumor. So this could be smoke screen. So it's just their Twitter handle. It's sometimes they're on the dot, sometimes they're, you know what I mean, sometimes they swing and miss. This says Dallas Cowboys are reportedly interested in trade for Steelers Pro Bowl Najee Harris. Sam.
Well, I'll start since Sam has a mouthful of pizza, acting like we ain't doing a show here. It sounds like something stupid that Jerry Jones would do.
I need to eat.
To trade for a running back that Pittsburgh ain't even worried about. But that's I wouldn't. I personally wouldn't do it if I was Jerry Jones. You know what I'm saying?
Hi, Robert. They're being
unless you're gonna get him for like a 6th. You know what I'm saying? But I wouldn't do it. You know what you should have done, Dallas? You should have drafted a freaking running back in the draft, bro. How about you do that? You know what I'm saying? Instead of trading for
Alan noted Cowboy fan says it's fake news, which sometimes it is. But...
It probably is. Like I mentioned something on the Dolphin Chronicles, which is the show that we are doing on the Kendall Sports Network. I saw something on X or Twitter earlier today about Jalen Waddle possibly holding out for a new contract, which that's total crap. You know what I'm saying? So there's a lot of lies and fake news, like Alan is saying, in social media and stuff like that. So I wouldn't listen to all that. Would it surprise me if Pittsburgh's trying to move him? No.
No, they declined his fifth-year option. So I mean, he's
right. That's what I'm saying. So I could see them being willing to give him up. Like I said, it would be a Jerry Jones move to trade for a running back that they don't even want.
I think, like looking at it, like they already have Zeke, right? And they're kind of
right.
Hold on.
Yeah.
Let me get there. Okay? Hey, eat some
hurry
pizza.
up and swallow.
All right,
hurry up
eat
and
some
swallow.
pizza. Chill
That's
out.
what I told her.
Anyway, but like if you like look at it logically, usually you get a running back to kind of complement the other one's style, and I don't think Najee complements Zeke's style. I think it's kind of 1A and 1B kind of thing there, and I think you would want to get more of a speedy guy as opposed to a hammer if you needed it.
Well, here's why it does make sense, because I mean, I don't know if you've noticed, Zeke ain't got much left in the tank.
What?
It makes sense if you're going to trade for him, and
they just need to feed him.
They already declined his fifth-year option, so you just pay him whatever this year for this year alone, and you get a good look.
Which can't be a lot. It can't be that much.
Can't be.
No, it's not. He's still on his rookie deal, so it's not that much. So cap-wise, it's not that much. You get a good look at him, and then you decide in the offseason whether you want to re-sign him or not. And you know what I mean? So you need him. He's an upgrade over Zeke at this point in time, so you're upgrading a position at need.
You're definitely an upgrade.
You're probably not going to have to give up a whole lot to get him, like you said, Johnny, like a 5th or 6th round pick, maybe. Right, you know what I mean? And maybe it has, depending on you know what I mean, whatever, like how well he does, right? Like if he plays certain percentage snaps or makes the All-Pro or whatever, it goes from a fifth pick to a 4th pick or something. You know, you work something like that pretty easily.
Something like that. That's the problem with your team, Alan. You know what I'm saying? Like Jerry Jones just run like the fact that he actually re-signed Zeke is almost like you should have just kept his ass from jump. You know what I'm saying? Like what does that do for your team bringing Zeke back?
Well, they're probably already still paying him from his old contracts. The problem, so they're like, "Fuck, now we got to pay him again."
But you know what I'm saying? I mean, I mentioned it in Thursday's show in passing. Another one of those social media fake news things that get thrown around there about the possibility that Jerry Jones is looking to hire Dion and draft his son next year. I don't know how much truth there is to that, but
I would say 0% to me.
I'm with you. I'm with you on that too, but I don't know. So, hopefully, this is the year where the media and Dallas fans are actually going to be realistic about their team and not start talking about Dallas making a run to. Well, you know how, but the media be pumping them up too. Like every year. Oh, this year Dallas. Come on, man, stop that shit. Like y'all not that good. Yeah,
Jerry is Jerry. So the whole like Deion Sanders thing, you can't shut it down completely because there's that spot in the back of your mind where he would do something absolutely Looney Tunes. Yeah. Man, I'm sorry. I was thinking about your face when you saw Ellen's comment. You just let it wash over you. You're like I'm pretty sure it actually caused you physical pain reading that. It's a GoFundMe.
GoFundMe. But see, Alan, I mean, who put your team in this terrible cap space? It was Jerry Jones. You know what I'm saying? Like let other people have some kind of control, bro. Like
I can
say, like, let it go, man. Let it go already, bro. You can't. You don't know all. You know what I'm saying? And they're usually a good team as far as they draft good talent. It's just they either overpaid them or, you know what I'm saying, don't extend them.
Held on to them too long. Yeah.
Held on to them too long. You know what I'm saying? So I think our mandatory Cowboys talk has hit its limit.
Obligatory Cowboy talk.
Yeah, I think we've hit
Bill's
our
been
limit
ringing for 5 minutes.
Right, you know what I'm saying? Like I was waiting for the Oscar music to come on and stuff so we can start talking about it.
Take the young woman's arm, Johnny. Take the young woman's arm. Get off stage.
Right.
I love you, Mom.
Yeah, that was the obligatory Cowboy talk. Back to the NBA. So I like the Knicks to close it out in 7. I think they
can I get a score update now that you mentioned them?
197, 7 minutes to go. So we're in crunch time.
Indy still up?
Yep. Sorry, I didn't say that at the beginning, but I'll take the Knicks in 7. They clinch a playoff spot or playoff in the Garden for the first time since '95. So
that
would be awesome, man. That would be awesome. That would be a lot of fun, man.
I don't think it's that awesome. I don't think it's great.
It was probably against your Pacers back in '95 that they did it to, Sam.
I was about to say it probably was
brutal.
That was the year they got to the finals and lost to Houston.
Yeah. That's wild because they went to the finals one other time, and I'm like, it's crazy but they were like the 8th seed.
In 2000, the Allen Houston Latrell Sprewell team.
Yeah, Larry Johnson team.
Yeah.
That was a good team.
They got to the finals, and I want to say, was it LA that just beat the hell out of them?
No, it was the Spurs. It was the Tim Duncan and David Robinson.
Same difference. For real. And that, talk about one of the more underrated, underappreciated, you know what I'm saying, great players of all time in Tim Duncan.
And David Robinson, really.
And David Robinson.
Both, yeah.
But Timmy don't get the love that he deserves because he wasn't all flashy and stuff, but he was Joker before Joker. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. He just did everything great. You know what I'm saying?
Different style of game, but I know what you're saying. Just like quiet, went about his business.
Yeah, just did his job. Wasn't you know what I'm saying? I mean,
Next thing you enjoyed watching. You had 20 and 15, and you don't even know how the hell he had it.
Right, yeah, and it's like, what the hell happened there? I didn't even see him take a shot. You know what I'm saying? And he got 20-something points. Yeah. So, but
KG on his podcast he's like the guy that he just fucking hated was going against Timmy. He's like, Timmy never really talked shit to you. It would just be like, it would be subtle shit, right? Just be like, nice try. Like, got you. You know what I mean? Like,
got you. Right, yeah.
Like,
little
try.
Something like,
he'd be like, he never like went at you. Like, he would just, but it was just like subtle jabs where it's just like, fuck you, man. Like, nice try. Like, shit like that. Like, that just shit that just gets you under your skin. Like, he would never say shit about your family or say anything derogatory. Just be like, oh, nice try.
What about stuff about his mom, Nick? What about stuff about his mom, Nick?
I'm the KG route. I mean, I played against somebody that got alopecia. I'm gonna tell me an ugly motherfucker like he did Charlie Villanueva. You know,
keep her name out of your mouth.
Like, that's the type of ball player I'll be. You know what I mean?
I'm with you on that.
Imagine how shocking that is to me. I just can't imagine. Wow. Understand.
Right, so since we're picking series and stuff like that now, so what are you thinking about for Minnesota, Denver, Nick?
Yeah, one game. I picked the Nuggets originally, so I'm gonna ride with the Nuggets.
Ride with the Nuggets.
Yeah, I picked.
All right. Well, the series that hasn't started yet, the Mavericks and Thunder. Who you guys like in that one?
Yeah, I like the Mavs still. 6.
I'm gonna go Mavs. I'm sorry, Alan. I don't want to. I mean, it's like you guys have said OKC, but the Dallas Mavericks with that dancing Eastern European bastard, Luka, right? He's Eastern European, right?
Yeah,
something along those lines.
Yeah.
He's boy. When he gets hot, it goes to like a whole nother level.
Yeah.
And I don't really see
it play a little bit of defense, just a little,
right?
And that's why the trade for PJ Washington and the Gafford kid from Washington was huge because they're defensive guys. They rebound. They'll do all the dirty work to help out. You know what I'm saying? So that Kyrie and Luka can just focus on the scoring, and PJ will hit some threes for you as well too. So. Like it's hard to not pick Dallas, but I'm gonna say OKC makes it to the Western Conference Finals, and I'm gonna say they win it at home in Game 7. I'm gonna say 7 for them.
Okay,
Here,
Steve, what
yeah.
about
Do you want to just
Celtics? Not Celtics and the Cavs.
Cavs? You want to go first on that one, Sam?
I'm going to go Celtics. I think the star power is there. I know people are giving Cavs the edge. Without Porzingis, there is it Porzingis that's not there.
Yeah.
Porzingis is not there, and that is a thing echoed over and over again. But I think there's still plenty of talent on that Celtics team to carry them over. So, but it has been fun as somebody that knows nothing about basketball, just diving into some chats, and I'm like, holy crap,
Yeah.
Oh, that's right. I hate Boston fans. I forgot. Anyway,
Right.
but if you look at like just the Cavs and the Celtics, like right next to each other, I think the Celtics still have the edge there. And it's nothing against the Cavs. I think, like you guys have said, a nice new young team. I think the Celtics take it done. Now it's going to go to like a Game 7 or something like that. But they'll get it done. They'll get it done.
The Celtics in 7. I'm gonna go Celtics in 6. I like this Cleveland team. I know Boston's gonna miss Porzingis, but they've got enough depth. They've got enough depth on that team that Boston should win that series. Not easily, but like I said, I'm gonna say 6 games. This is it for you know what I'm saying, Jason Tatum and Jaylen Brown. Like they need to show that they really are the great players that they've been labeled, that they're getting paid to be. I think the addition of Drew Holiday is huge for them. Yeah. He's got the championship experience. He's got the defensive ability.
He's a true point guard too. That's the thing.
He's a true point guard, which is what they needed, right? Yeah. And he makes some big shots, and he can defend. So I think the Celtics will have just enough. That Cavaliers team is hit or miss. You know what I'm saying? Depending on how Donovan Mitchell goes, and then who's going to step up to help Donovan Mitchell out against the Boston Celtics. So I'm gonna say Boston in 6 in that series there.
Yeah, I'm right there with you. I think with no Porzingis, it caters to Cleveland to get 2 games. Where I had Ed in Columbus. He said Cleveland's missing Jared Allen. He's huge on their team. He said that he's the big glue guy for them. But I'm still going to take the Celtics in 6. How about this? Donovan Mitchell scored the most points in a playoff series outside of Allen Iverson. That's how nobody is on his team. AI would have to carry a team, and Donovan's doing that with the Cavs. Garland's got to get going. I asked
Garland, the Mobley kid needs to step it up.
Who's going to be the Robin to Mitchell's Batman? Mitchell can't get that happened in Game 6. He scored 50, and he ran out of gas, and they didn't have nobody else that could help him score. Scored 40 in Game 7. He put it together. It just they need somebody else, and I don't know who it's going to be. Celtics, while they're young, at least you know that they've been there and done that. So yeah.
Yeah, I'm with you on that one too. And again, that's what worries me about the Knicks is that who else besides is going to be able to step up to help Brunson out. You know what I'm saying? I mean, Hart is a nice story. Dante DiVincenzo is a nice story. But those guys if they go cold from 3-point land, that's it. You know what I'm saying? So they don't have that second guy. I'm with you on that. I think Cleveland's very similar there. Evan Mobley's a really good talent, but he's hit or miss as well. You know what I'm saying? I'm with you. They definitely are missing Jared Allen. He's not only a glue guy, but he's a really good defender, rebounder. So I just don't think Cleveland has quite enough to match Boston. So me and you, Nick, got it. Boston, Indiana. In the finals.
I got the Knicks.
Oh, you got the Knicks? You think the Knicks are going to pull it out?
Yeah, okay. The Knicks in 7. Knicks in 7. Yeah, all right, man. Thibodeau, man. I can't.
Hey, I hope it works out that way. You know what I'm saying? I hope the Knicks find a way to pull it out, but I just think they're going to be worn down and they're just not going to have enough. But hopefully, I'm wrong on that one there too. But If the path wasn't any more clear for Boston this year, then I don't know when they're ever going to win it. And I know that Porzingis is hurt right now, whatever, but you still have plenty of talent on that team. And again, if Jason Tatum and Jaylen Brown are who they're getting paid to be, they should win a title this year. I think the only team that would worry me on the West would be Denver.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying. Yeah. Any other team, Boston should be able to win a final, but we'll see what happens with that.
Game. I mean, if the Wolves beat the Nuggets, I mean, a lot of people would start chiming in on Minnesota to win this thing.
Well, so let me ask you: if Minnesota wins that series, are they? Do you see them in the NBA Finals?
Man, I don't know. I think so. I do. I think both these two teams could beat either other the teams. If
so you think the winner of this series is going to represent the West?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Now,
I mean that's fair.
I think Boston could beat Tim. I think Boston, especially if Porzingis can come back healthy, could beat them in about 6 or 7 games. I think it would be a great series.
Yeah.
And I think the Western Conference Finals would be great, either or. If I'm Dallas and OKC, you match up better with the Timberwolves than you probably do with the Nuggets. Right. I think the Nuggets' toughest challenge is the Timberwolves because of Gobert and Cat. Where I guess they do, but Jokic he bodies Chet like he's just so much bigger and stronger than Chet is at this point in time. So I think that. To me, the Nuggets, this is their hardest matchup out of all the teams remaining, where everybody else is praying that the Wolves can knock it down, and then everybody else is kind of almost on the equal playing field after that.
Yeah, I'm with you on that one. I'm sure the rest of the league is like, yeah, come on, Minnesota, please pull this off.
Yeah.
Because they definitely do have the size and length to battle Denver. Because, I'm with you. Yeah, Joker's going to have his way with Chet Holmgren, and nobody on Dallas will be able to slow down, let alone try to stop the Joker down low. So that'll be interesting, man. It's gonna be a lot of fun to see. I mean,
I can tell you.
Can I get an update on the Knicks?
Yeah, 3 minutes left. 111, 109 in Indiana.
Okay, damn.
Indiana's got the ball.
A nice 2-point game. Nice.
Yep.
I like it.
New York.
Like
now the Knicks got it to take a 4-point. Try to take a 4-point lead.
Okay, nice.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. And the Knicks are on a 7-0 run in the last minute and a half or so.
Okay.
So Knicks are hot right now. Brunson, step back, mid-range J, drilled it.
Nice.
4-point game.
All right, well, gentlemen, I don't mean to dip out on you guys early, but I'm going to have to call it a night because I got to get up super early for work.
He's dipping.
Always a lot of fun. Well, Jim didn't come, so I don't want to be here anymore. I'm so kidding. I'm so kidding. Apologies to all the LTS fans. That's just a joke. I love being on here with you guys.
Yeah, I'm gonna
have fun the rest of the night. Have fun talking to Jonathan, talking some baseball. The Yankees finally get a day off today after playing 17 straight.
Oh, Stephon Marbury's in the house, Johnny. Stephon Marbury.
Yeah. All the old school Knicks are coming to watch this team, man. So they definitely got a lot of support. Knicks fans are going to be going crazy in that building. So I'm happy for them, man. Hopefully they do pull it out. But yeah, this was a lot of fun.
Next to Clyde Frazier. Walt Frazier. Is it
nice.
Walt Frazier or Clyde Frazier?
It's Walt Clyde Frazier. That's just
okay.
It's both. It's both. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. All right, gentlemen. Enjoy the rest of your show. Have a great night. I will holler at you guys later, man.
See you, Johnny.
All right, see you later.
See you, fellas.
The great
Johnny. I wanted to get your thoughts on, since we didn't have Jim on, but man, that crowd at Backlash might have been one of the best wrestling crowds I've ever seen in my entire life.
Michael Cole said it best, especially when Jay came out. It looked like the wall was moving, and it did. It did. Everybody's cell phones were out, and they were all doing the yeet dance or whatever else. I mean, that crowd, but it was more than just his intro. They were loud all night. They did not stop the entire time. They sang a specialized song for excuse me, for the phenomenal one. That I had never heard before.
Yeah, yeah.
And I mean, just Randy Orton song through the whole thing. I mean, they just brought the house down. And there, as a fan watching that, I think somebody said it in our wrestling chat too. Boy, we are spoiled. We are, and it made me appreciate it a lot more. And boy, if you're Triple H, you're like, we got to come back here as many times as we can.
Yeah, and France is on something like. So I think a lot of great. There's always great, even in the UFC. As a UFC fan, like the international crowds, for the most part. Now this weekend in Brazil wasn't great, wasn't like super loud, but man, they had a card a couple years ago in London, and then they've had two cards the last 2 years, once a year in France, in Paris, and those crowds, I mean, are absolutely just insane. They'll start singing their national anthem in the middle of a fight. Like, it's just like and it was like a lot like the WWE, the PLE, like, on Saturday. Right. It's just, you know what I mean? And I'm glad because, like, to me, Backlash is one of them pay-per-views. It's hard to get up for it because you just had Mania. So, like, you pretty much know going in, like, we're not going to see any title fight, titles change. I mean, we all knew the women's tag was going to change. Right. But can you carry the storylines or what storylines we're going to pick up? But going in, you kind of the matches for the most part, So when you have a crowd like that, and they had one last year at this time, remember that was the Puerto Rican card. That crowd was insane. So it's like, if you're going international, do it for these Backlash, these pay-per-views, because like they make it, that crowd makes you want to continue to watch because, man, that's to me, I always say like wrestling, when wrestling has a great crowd, that just makes the matches so much.
It can't be topped. It can't be topped, in my opinion. It's just too good. When you said, and you're right, Bianca and Jade took the belts, who the hell is going to take it off those two?
Yeah,
my God. I mean, if you're sitting there watching Jade Cargill, you're like, we've got to put her and Rhea together as soon as we can. Because I don't know if she's ready for that yet. She didn't look as stiff as she did the other time. She looked pretty fluid. We got a Dudley Boys 3D out of her and Bianca, which was kind of fun. But man, she gets out there, and I gotta tell you, when she flipped Kairi Sane on her shoulders, I was like, "Oh, this woman is just, there's no stopping her. She is just a absolute athlete. It just."
She is, and they're doing a good job of promoting her. You keep her; she can't go long, right? So you put her in tag matches with Bianca, and eventually, I'd like to see Bianca or maybe Jade turn on one another, and that's where you get that feud because
it's inevitable.
That would be a great feud, right, between those two young women, because they're both obviously built similar, just genetic freaks. And are athletic, and that would be a fun, fun one to watch. Or even Jade and Charlotte, right? Like if Charlotte, when Charlotte comes back, that would be a fun one to kind of get into. So it would be interesting. I told you off the top Saturday, I said I was glad the Bloodline. I didn't know how much I could watch. That daughter had soccer. Ooh, Knicks just took a 3-point lead with 40 seconds left. How much time how much I'd be able to watch, but I was very intrigued with the Bloodline match. Is probably my number one I was most intrigued with. And
I chose the wrong family member, and we got a whole different one. Man. That's the thing. I was going to talk to you because 6 Feet Under, the Undertaker's show that he does, and I think he's right. We're going to see Cody go heel. He's got to. But just the way that it made me kind of yearn for it, even though he's going to go on this run. He's not going to just turn heel right now. But when they start getting there and the things he could say and the things he could do as a heel was like, you thought my dad was awesome. You ain't never watched Cody Rhodes. My dad never won a title. Like you could just totally go broke. and do an excellent heel turn. And I think
they wanted to turn him heel in AEW, and he just never did for some odd reason. And now
I don't know. It was obviously a mess there. By the way, I also thought Tony Storm's comments were way out of line. You can't
Tony Stark. Tony Stark? No,
Stark,
Tony
yeah,
Khan. Tony Khan.
Yeah, no. I'm sorry. The lady that's like a 1950s.
Oh, yeah.
I thought it was Tony Storm. I can't remember.
Yeah, it is. It is Tony Storm. I was thinking the AEW women's champion. Yeah.
Right. Yeah. So she said some comments about him and his wife, which I thought were uncalled for. Cody handled it pretty well, but he would be a great heel. I kind of can't wait till it happens, but now he's talking about LA Knight, like fighting LA Knight or something to defend the thing. I mean, the only problem I have with this long running championship thing, and it has its uses, sure, but now we just get to see people get thrown up against a wall like a baseball on a brick wall over and over again, right? I mean, nobody's taking that belt off of Cody, not for at least a year. So.
Oh no, yeah, nobody's taking it. And I was kind of reading too, they don't really have a direction for him right now. Mm-hmm. You can tell The Rock or Roman get back, so that'll be kind of interesting to see what they do there.
Should happen at SummerSlam.
Yeah. So we'll see. They need to find somebody a good feud with. He called out your guy, LA Knight. I said he did.
He did, and I that's all fine and dandy. I would just we've been talking about it. I'm ready for Logan Paul versus LA Knight, and I thought SummerSlam would probably be the best place to have it out
in Logan's hometown.
Yeah, exactly. So let's go ahead and get this done. He's a great villain. I think that would be the ultimate matchup. And if you watched him doing a questionnaire with fans in Philadelphia, that they were all wanting him to fight Logan Paul. There was I think that's what people want, and I trust Triple H. So far so good. That card in France was great. It delivered. But man, I'm just ready for that feud to get started. If you want to go ahead and throw him at Cody, that's fine.
But I don't think so, because he already threw him at Roman, right? So I don't think it's the person. That's the thing. It's like, who's going to be next for Cody? I kind of wanted to see AJ get up. The fact that he pinned AJ clean 1, 2, 3 means to me that feud's probably done. So who's it gonna be next?
Sami
if
Zayn,
Randy Orton wasn't in the mix of this feud that he's in, the bloodline feud that he's in, turning Orton heel would be great. One last, but it's tough because Edge kind of talked about this. He's like, they wanted me to turn heel and I wanted to turn heel. The thing of it is
but everybody loves Edge.
Yeah, fans didn't want me to turn heel because and that's the thing with Orton right now. Orton's at that point in his career where fans just love him because he's been doing it for so damn long. He's just going to have to be a face almost. Even if he turns heel, guess what? Fans are still going to cheer him because even though he's a heel, but because he's Randy Orton.
Right. And you can move stuff around, right? You could totally put Randy versus Cody at some point. Yeah. I don't know if right now is the right time. I don't know where. I'm just waiting for The Rock to reveal that he's behind the whole bloodline thing going on right now.
Between the Solo and I'm enjoying that.
Me too. It's great.
The Tamatongas and his brother and it's.
I'm here for it.
Yeah, and people if it made this is that was so they said the WrestleMania 41 was the end game of it was we related to Marvel, so now they're adding new characters, right? Much like the Marvels after Endgame did to, you know what I mean? They're adding new characters, new people to replace people, and that stuff.
Let's see. So, Randy versus Cody at Money in the Bank or Clash at the Castle. You could. I'd be very curious to see who's going to win the briefcases this year. That would be my thing. I actually thought I was looking at, I had my swerve picked out because I thought you could have Bailey lose that belt. I know she just got it, but she's had it so many times. But that was my swerve call. Alan said he had it for I think Alan, didn't you have it for Jay versus Damian Priest? And I kind of felt like they were kind of getting in that direction a little bit. And of course, the
Judgment Day cost Damian.
Yeah.
I think we could see where the Judgment Day cost Damian the title, and somebody beats him. You know what I mean? And then he's mad and then breaks off from the judge. But the problem is it's hard to do that without Rhea right now, because then what is she when she comes back? What does she come back to? You know what I mean? They did have they did have like a hug it out session. I saw that today. Kind of. So for the most part, well, Jonathan's going to be joining us here in just a minute.
Gotcha.
So it's 117, 118, and they're trying to figure out, I think, a foul call or who this ball's out on. And the Knicks got the ball here. They're trying to figure out
that should just about do it. Unfortunate, but man, oh man, and we've only just begun. Come on.
Well, I mean, hold on. So I'm trying to figure out what they're trying to figure out here.
It's Knicks 119 now.
Oh, so Knicks got the ball. I must be behind.
Yeah, they just hit a free throw.
Well, it's not. I mean, it's 12 seconds left. So Knicks get the ball here. They're going to make two free throws, probably a free throw. Oh, they just fouled Brunson right away.
Yeah, Jalen Brunson makes regular free throw 1-for-1.
So if he makes both, it's still a 3-point game, 12 seconds left, so you still got time.
Yeah. Damian loses to Drew at Clash at the Castle, where Punk cost Drew the title, leading the match at SummerSlam. If Drew's back on time, I wonder what injury.
Did they say what was wrong with him? Is that kayfabe, or is that kayfabe, or?
I couldn't tell you. They talked about it today, and CM Punk was like, "Come out here and face me."
Yeah, I saw that a little bit. I saw that. Yeah.
Yeah, and okay, he made both free throws. Okay. Anyway, so I just think, I don't know. I'm betting it's kayfabe, but I had heard that he was hurt after WrestleMania a little bit. Maybe they're giving him some time.
Well, yeah, he said he said that last week. Remember, like
they got him now. It's 121 Knicks. They got him.
Yeah, so Knicks win.
I'll make Johnny happy. But yeah, because
right, both fight. The match could be like an unsanctioned match because both guys are. I'll tell you what. From what I saw, CM Punk looked like he put on some muscle here lately.
He did.
He looks better. He looks a lot better than he did in AEW, and he looks better than when he came out. Like tonight during his promo, he looked like he'd been kind of a little bit more jacked up.
He got locked in the bathroom at WWE headquarters. And when he walks out, he took a video of it. He walked out and everybody was gone. So he's just like walking through the whole building, and he ended up in the gym, worked out, finally got out of there. But it was really funny. He's like, guys, this is no joke. I'm locked inside the WWE headquarters. Like,
was it on Twitter or Instagram or something?
It was on Instagram, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
It was so funny. He's just walking around like, okay.
Ooh.
What? You said, ooh.
I don't know why Halliburton, he must have been trying to go for a 3. He should have just shot a 2. I don't know. At 121, 117 final.
They knew it was going to. They knew
Knicks survived game 1.
Triple H. No. Oh, man. I hope that's I don't think a match between those two guys. No.
No, he's saying it could call back to like Punk and
oh yeah,
like,
yeah.
I see what you're saying.
Yeah, I'm with it now. Okay, my bad. But yeah, I mean, you want to finish up. You're just going to have to make that ladder longer, I think, for Punk. And if he's actually hurt, you're going to have to make that ladder longer. And you're going to have to really, really sell me without the feud becoming old of them just talking major crap against each other until both of them are
They've done a good job with it, though. They've done a good
so
job.
Far, so good. But like, how long are we going to do it? You know what I mean? Are we just going to keep yelling at each other through social media and everything?
So we can mix it up. Yeah, I like it though. You know what I mean? And they
so
both
far,
are
so good.
Yeah.
For sure. It would suck if he's actually hurt and missed his clash at the castle. That would really stink.
Yeah, because he's supposed to be, you know, I mean
that's his home, babe.
Yeah.
It's, you know, your people want to come out and see you wrestle. I totally get it. But man, I don't know. I'm looking more at like the future, and I'm like, if Rhea comes back, she's gonna feud with Liv. That's a given.
Yeah.
That's gonna happen.
We'll see our Becky, because she has the title, or maybe Liv has the title, or who knows.
I foresee a triple threat match between those three.
Yeah.
But if you give it back to Rhea, though, and then now you're just going to have everybody's just going to wait for Jade Cargill versus Rhea Ripley until it happens, because, I mean, I don't know. I like the long belt things, and you made a pretty good argument for it, holding on to the belt, but I think you could switch some things up every now and then. And
yeah, I mean, you can, but you don't want to play hot potato. It just makes it more prestigious when somebody does win, you know what I mean, when they finally do.
Right, at the transfer portal. I just need 2 hops of the hot potato, and then it's like Dirty Santa at Christmas. Just, you know, this present you can't touch anymore. Becky versus Liv in Jeddah made official. Oh, there you go.
Okay.
Crown jewel.
Yeah, I could see Liv winning that one, and
don't cry about it.
That is what they're touting as the king and queens are, you know, the king of the ring, queen of the ring pay-per-view. You know, what I don't like is like they got these pre-matches ahead of time. Like I missed wasn't there like when they first started that king like back when Austin and them was winning it. Like I thought, didn't you have to win like multiple matches in one night, like 2 or 3 matches?
They've done it in different ways. They've done what you're talking about is the Iron Man matches. They used to throw them out there, and then 3 people would come down the ramp to fight.
I never know. It was like you win one match and then you advance in the tournament, but they did the tournament in one night.
The one night. Okay. Yeah. I remember that. Maybe they can't because of new safety restrictions or something. We're from a time where men were men. Our fake fighting was real, damn it. I mean, our fake fight was real. I saw the clip of him today, and they both him and The Rock were trying to make each other laugh. And The Rock was out there. He goes, "You're gonna get out there with your little people." Go, what, over and over, and you can see Austin's like on the verge, like he's so close. And then, of course, he just, what? I was like, man, what an awesome time to be alive. Nobody's on The Rock's side, and everybody's on Steve Austin's side. Man, oh, man. Oh, the dish with Grish has arrived. Well,
all right, let's give him the proper intro, Sam, before we bring him in. This guy, he coaches us up every Monday night, but over the weekend, he coached his team up. And not only Sam, we are in the presence of greatness. He coached them up so good that they are now in first place. Throw up the ones for this guy, Sam, because they are in first place, clinching their conference. Give it up for Jonathan Grisham, baby.
I'm so proud of you. I was waiting for the shoe to drop. And you're like, but
I give my guy props when he deserves them. You know what I mean? Coaching the boys up, first place, conference champs. Is that how that works, Jonathan?
So yeah, we're so really in junior college they call it regions instead of conference. So we were regular season region champions, being first place in the entire region. East Division champions as well, being first place in our division, but with the overall best record in the entire region as well. So we are regular season region champions, with the number 1 seed going into the tournament this week.
So do you guys automatically, are you guys the first number 1 seed in the tournament?
For the region/conference tournament, yes, we are the number 1 seed. We're going in this week. We still have work to do to be able to make the junior college tournament. After this, if we win our region tournament, we win the conference tournament, we advance to what is the next round, which is essentially the super regionals, kind of how it's looked at. We will play a 3-game series against a different conference. Winner of that goes to the JUCO World Series in Oklahoma. So we still have some work to do. We still have some things we need to achieve and accomplish. But the first step was to clinch the conference, clinch the region, be a top seed, and we were able to achieve that this past week.
Hell yeah. So this week you guys are starting the tournament. Is it, you told last week it's double elimination, correct?
Correct. Yes. So we are the prime time night game on Thursday, 7 p.m. First pitch in Enid, Oklahoma. So we'll be heading out Thursday morning, getting out there a little early, get settled in, get some batting practice, a little light practice, workout, and then we play ball. We begin our quest to win a tournament on Thursday night.
Hell yeah! How many games you got to win the tournament?
I have to double check. I believe it's 4. I believe it's 4 games. If we run the table, if we run the table, I think it's 3. But if it would be 4, if we somehow we lose, go to the losers bracket, we'd have to win 4 or 5 games. But I believe it's either 3 or 4 to win. I think it's 4 to win the tournament, 3 to get to the championship.
Hell yeah. Let's go, boys. Let's go. Get us the story, as they like to say.
The story. Get your
Jonathan, I want to talk to you about my guy, Shotei Imanaga. He is now 5-0 with an ERA under 1, like 0.93. He was NL Rookie of the Month. I don't really subject to that because the guy was a professional before, but I will say he should have been National League Pitcher of the Month. But nonetheless, what is making this like? I'm nervous of 2 things. Like, number one, why are guys just ain't figured this guy out? And 2, can he continue? Now I know his ERA is going to eventually go up because nobody's going that low, right? Like that would be insane for me to think. But like, can he keep it up at a pace where he looks like the ace of our staff? Because to me, Japanese pitchers, even Japanese hitters, it seems like the second half of the season usually fall off their rookie year.
Yeah, one is it's a longer season in the big leagues than they do in Japan. So that's one of the learning curves for Japanese ball players getting into Major League Baseball. But what it is, it's again, we see things from Japanese pitchers when they start out. It's different, and Imanaga is no exception to that rule. He's different in how he pitches. His arsenal's different. We're seeing the same thing with Yoshinobu Yamamoto and with the Dodgers, that he's been up and down, yes, but he has a different form of his arsenal that we don't see in the big leagues. So there's, or here in America, really. So there's a learning curve for hitters to face these guys. Again, they're the best in the world, though. So at some point, they're going to figure him out. It's a matter of how does he adjust when they do figure him out. And that's what the hard part is for these Japanese pitchers. Excuse me. When they do get over here and they understand it. I mean, even middle of the pack hitters in Major League Baseball here in America, they're still just as good, if not better, than some of the best hitters in Japan. So you're going to have a learning curve, and that's what we're kind of, we're seeing hitters trying to figure out. It's a matter of who makes the adjustments first and who makes the adjustments longer, whether it's Imanaga or the other or Major League Baseball hitters. But it's quality, what you're seeing out of him. And I think as a Cubs fan, you're needing that with Steele, with Justin Steele, missing a good portion of the year, beginning part of the season. You needed somebody.
Came back today. Steele came back tonight. He started tonight for the first time.
But missing him for the first month. Missing him for the first month, you needed somebody that was going to answer the question of who's going to step up in the rotation. And sure enough, Imanaga has been that for the Cubs. So that was I'm sure for you as a fan, a huge sigh of relief that you had somebody that can hold the fort down until Justin Steele does come back.
Yeah, he's been a breath of fresh air. Everybody, really, this whole for the Cubs wise starting pitching, it's been our bullpen. Can I interest you? And they have 63 blown saves, right? Like as far as like they've blown leads, I guess instead of blown saves. And that's how atrocious the Cubs bullpen is, Jonathan. I mean, can you like suit up for us and pitch a few innings? Because by God, we might need you out there because
just a little bit.
I mean, 60, that's a record. Imagine how good we would be if we had a halfway decent bullpen. We would be the best team in damn baseball.
Bro, you know I feel you. You know I feel you.
Yeah, I don't know if I would be the answer for the Cubs as a pitcher. I don't think that would be wise for the Cubs to go in that direction. They'll put me on the bump anymore. I think my pitching days are long gone on that. But that is an issue. That is an absolute issue. With the bullpen again, it's something that you're gonna have to figure out, and you're gonna have to maybe make some phone calls as you get further into the season to kind of sharpen up that bullpen. Because you're right. If you win half the games that you lose from the bullpen, you're in a whole different situation right now if you're Chicago. So there's going to be some questions on how to fix that. There's going to be some phone calls that I'm sure will be made as we get through the season. I mean, hey, Miami's already are opening their sale.
That was my next question to you. Speaking of phone calls, what do you make of the Marlins saying, hey, we're punting this after the first month of the season, we're punting it away and trading their best player, guy who led the league in hitting last year?
Well, he's led the league. He's led the American League 2 years ago, and he's led the National League last year in hitting. He's a two-time batting champ, one in each league. I think it would be impossible. I'm so glad I'm a Braves fan because I think it would be impossible to be a fan of the Marlins. Anytime you have some success, your franchise front office just says, "Yeah, we don't like success. We're allergic to success." We saw that in '97 when they won the World Series. '98 they had a big sell-off. We saw that in '03 when they won the World Series. In '04 they had a big sell-off. They were in the playoffs this last season. They were competing. They were very competitive. They built something that was going to be a monster, potentially a monster that we kind of looked at and said, this is a team that if they kind of figure it out, which they did last year, and they continue to build, they could be a scary team that can compete with the Braves and the Phillies in the National League East. And they don't even want to try to see if they can, salvage or build or do anything. I think it's, like I said, it would be impossible to be a fan of this franchise. I don't see how they can even. I'm shocked they get 5,000 fans to show up, watch them play more than they really should, because the front office makes it impossible to do so. They're selling off now and putting out there saying that you're going to continue to sell, as we're already in the beginning of May. You're not even giving yourself a chance to get to June at least before you say, yeah, okay, we'll sell now. They waited 1 month and they said, yeah, we're done. We're not even going to try.
To their defense, they're 15 games back, so I don't see at least in the division. So I mean, I know you got 4 months left. Jesus.
But you go back to the offseason. You go back to the offseason when they let Kim Nee go, and she was. I talked with you guys. And Kim Nee was a great general manager. All she wanted was just a little bit more authority, a little bit more say. Which that's not something that would be wrong about. You have that happen all the time. We see that with Theo Epstein. You can tell me Theo Epstein, who again, credit, he deserves a lot of credit for what he's done in Boston and Chicago. He gets authority. He gets a little bit more power. He's not only general manager but president of baseball operations. Kim Nee did something in Miami that providing stability to your roster and making moves to build a competitive team. Why does she not deserve that opportunity to have a little bit more say, and a little bit stronger say? I think that was wrong that the Marlins didn't even entertain that opportunity for her and let her go. And that's where everything went downhill for this franchise, is because they don't want stability. That this is a franchise that continues to make moves and sell and like I said, they stay away from success. So this was again. I wish I kind of thought more about it. As we were making picks in spring training, and I looked at it in a little bit more as a logical sense that this franchise was going to go take a step backwards, because that's what they do when they make changes, and they make changes quite often. So it is what it is, and I'm interested to see what the next domino is going to be for this franchise as they continue to sell and how they continue to take a step backwards more and more every year.
Buster only said GMs aren't really calling because they don't, other than the guy they just traded, there's not really much on the roster that any other team anybody really wants. That might change in June or July as the guys get hotter, right? You know what I mean?
Right.
Yeah, it'll change. You have some guys like Jesus Luzardo, who's not had a good season, but again, nobody has on it, and you don't have a good season when you're a last place team and you haven't even won double-digit games yet after 1 month. But the talent level is there. That's what you look at some of these guys that are on this team. Like I said, Luzardo, Brian De La Cruz, Jazz Chisholm. They're talented guys on there. You guys
was just like he wasn't he on the cover of the show 2 years ago? Like he's a good ball player.
Yeah, he's a good ball player, and again, get him in an environment. Get those guys in an environment where winning is actually where winning is recommended and wanted, and you could probably see that they'll have a turnaround. We saw that again. Bringing up the Braves, Pierce Johnson was pitching for the Rockies with a 6 ERA. He gets traded to the Braves, and he had one of the lowest ERAs since that trade. He got the lowest ERA of all relief pitchers in baseball last year. So the environment matters. If you're around other players that want to win, and your environment and the culture is winning, you can change your perception. So again, getting guys who are talented, and you move them. Again, the asking price, I'm sure that's probably what the hesitation is currently right now. Is what's the asking price? Well, the asking price is going to be pretty high. Yeah, no thanks. Not going to do that. They're going to make the general managers of all these teams. They're going to make the Marlins have to come down in their asking price, and the Marlins have no leverage. They have absolutely no leverage because those guys are not helping you win games. So what is the point of keeping them? So
is the price high right now too? Because you're getting a majority of the season. Like it's not just a 1 or 2 month rental. I mean, the season we're only, we just started. We just finished 1 month. We're not even a quarter away into the season,
I'm sure. I can only imagine what the asking price would be for someone, like I said, like Jazz Chisholm or Jesus Luzardo, De La Cruz. I'm sure there's a pretty high asking price just because, as you said, we still have a majority of the season to go. It's not like it's a deadline deal where you get them for 2-3 months, if that. So, I'm sure the price is a little bit higher. But again, teams are going to look at the Marlins and say, they're going to laugh at them and go, no, you're going to lower your price. Otherwise, you're just going to continue paying these guys until they go to free. Some of them might be going to free agency here pretty soon, and you'll lose them and you'll get nothing in return. You're gonna lower your price down. They have no leverage in any deal right now, and it was showed with the Padres. And again, the Padres did not pay a hefty price for Arias. The price was actually, at least for what you probably could have got later on, you could have got a little bit more. They sold off. So again, they've shown their hand. The Marlins have. And there's nothing that they can do about it right now. If they want to sell off, and everybody knows they're going to, the price is going to have to go down a little bit more, and they're going to have to accept that.
That's why they make. You talked about like a strong foundation and things like that. Jonathan, I have entered a portal to a different dimension, one where Tristan McKenzie looks competent, he did. He looked competent today. He looked competent last time he pitched. In fact, this is one game I beat the Astros in. And now Jose Ramirez looks like he's coming into form. If this trend keeps up, is Vogt is Vogt going to get some Coach of the Year nods?
Yeah, he should. Again, especially if you're going to be on a first place team, if they continue to be in this trajectory. Yeah, absolutely, he'll get some votes. And you have to look at the rest of the American League. Is there anybody who's going to be ahead of them? You could, would Aaron Boone, if the Yankees win the East, would he get, would he win the award? And we know how the writers are. If they don't like you, they're not going to really vote for you no matter what you do. So. I could see Stephen Vogt being a very strong contender if they continue to be a good team and they win first place in the Central. You could really see Stephen Vogt being winning the Manager of the Year award, turning a team that really underperformed last year and winning the division this year. I think you could absolutely see that being the case.
Yeah, they're missing Stephen Kwan right now. He's on a 10-day make his hammy feel better. Again, because it's always the hammy with Stephen Kwan. But yeah, no, it's just a nice surprise because I did not expect us to start out this way. I knew we were playing bad teams, but still, I was like, I'm a bad team. I know this. But they seem to be kind of putting it together now, and Jose Ramirez is starting to hit the ball into the rafters and not just a fly out and all the time. So I was just curious your thoughts on that because, things are finally coming up, Sam.
No, it's a good story right now what you're having with Cleveland. And again, they were the forgotten team right now in the American League Central because the hype had been around the Tigers, which I'm still very high on. Sorry, Sam.
No, it's fine. We played them today. They were stiff. They were not letting us get away with anything. No stealing bases or.
They're a good team. They're very young, and they're still figuring things out. Going. So there's a high ceiling in the future for the Detroit Tigers. You're seeing a competitive Kansas City Royals team right now. That again, how much longer that's going to be, we'll find out. But they're in the right trajectory too in their future. So this division is really, and we see the Minnesota Twins had a 12-game winning streak at one point. So we're seeing the American League Central, which was not very competitive last year.
Teams above 500, the only division to do that by the first month.
Right, which again, we're seeing this division be a very competitive division. So it's a very big turnaround right now in the American League Central, and it's a good thing. You want as many competitive teams as you can have to make it intriguing stories going through the season, wild card opportunities as well for these teams. So it's really interesting to watch and see how this continues to play out, and you want these teams to continue to stay competitive.
Jonathan, I want to talk about your favorite team, the Phillies. Why are they turning it up? Why are they becoming so good?
Oh my gosh, he's cloned himself. There's
we got two Jonathan Grishams.
I can't do this. Are they going to fight? Can we watch it? Hey, this is the dimension I went there. This is when they both look at us and go, "No, guys, I'm the real Jonathan."
All right. Sorry about that. My laptop finally started working. I got it off my phone, so sorry about that.
No, it's okay. Good, I was waiting to see both of you to go, I'm the real Jonathan. And we're like pointing the gun,
I don't think the world can handle two Jonathan Grishmans. I don't think that's
the one of them pitch for the Cubs.
Amen for that. Jonathan, the Phillies have been hot. I know that's your favorite team. The Atlanta Braves in first place. I know it's early, but what's making them so hot right now, the Phillies?
Consistency. You're getting consistent pitching, which is something that last year you didn't really get out of some of these guys like Aaron Nola, who was up and down in 2023. You're getting quality starts out of him. Zach Wheeler is pitching lights out every time he steps on a mound right now. And we're talking about, I think you could probably have a conversation of Zach Wheeler being one of the best pitchers in the game at the moment. But the consistency of the pitching staff does help. There are scoring runs. Again, they're not doing anything spectacular on the offensive side, but they're doing enough to score runs to allow your pitching to handle the game from there. And so that's what makes them difficult right now. They're a well-built team. You talk about one of the top rosters in the game. You have the Phillies, Braves, and Dodgers. And Phillies sometimes get overlooked. For some, I don't know why they get overlooked. Again, they beat the Braves last two times in the postseason. They should not be overlooked. This is a very talented team. They're a very veteran-laden team, and they know how to win games. And they know how to win postseason games. So what makes them difficult, again, is consistency. And the pitching staff is a leading factor of them being that consistent group. And they're doing just enough offensively right now to allow the pitching staff to dominate. Same thing tonight. I mean, you've seen Zach Wheeler, 10 strikeouts. And he's untouchable at the moment right now. And that's going to be very difficult to play out through the rest of the season in the NL East, particularly, again, with the Braves kind of being a little bit up and down at the moment.
Yeah, the Phillies are 9-1 their last 10 and won the last 6 in a row. So that shows you how they're getting quality starts out of their starters for sure. I mean, how the hell do the Mets have Zach Wheeler, Harvey, fucking DeGrom, Steven Matz on there? They all had all 5 of those guys at one time in their pitching. Noah Syndergaard, all 5 or 6 of them, man, and they just they all got hurt. I know, at a time or two, but man, and then they just could never do anything. Like they just never did it. But none of them were ever healthy. I felt like at the same time, but it's crazy that all of them were in the Mets organization at one point together.
Well, I talked to you all about that before. You look at Matt Harvey's out of baseball. Noah Syndergaard's right now out of baseball. Steven Matz is, here and there. I think he's been okay since he's left New York. DeGrom is injured, and we've known what DeGrom has been when he pitches. But again, he's been hurt a lot. Zach Wheeler has been the guy of the group that has, stayed healthy and grown since he left New York and is becoming one of the better pitchers in the game. There's factors of what was going on in the Mets and how they were handling all those pitchers. I mean, again, you could talk about those 5 guys they had and compare them to what the Detroit Tigers had at one point when you had Scherzer and Verlander, Porcello. You're talking about one of the
Zimmerman.
One of the better, I guess, the better what if rotations is what the New York Mets had. Is what if these guys stayed healthy? What could they have done? I mean, again, that's a lights out group, and their philosophy was the reason why they got hurt so much. And they continue to stay getting hurt because they never able to bounce back. Zach Wheeler is the only one at the moment who has thrived and stayed healthy and continued to pitch well since he left New York, and getting kind of a little bit more of the.
And he left early on, like he was the first one to leave too. At that, you know what I mean, to kind of as well,
and be able to bounce back and stay and be consistent and staying healthy in the process and doing it in Philadelphia, which again, talking about a fan base that's no different than New York is Philadelphia, and he's thrived in Philadelphia. And I wish, part of me wishes he'd leave, and we can see Philadelphia work and go back to being the bad Philadelphia Phillies, but it's neither here nor there. But you got to appreciate what Zach Wheeler is doing right now. If you're a baseball fan, he's provided a stability to that rotation that was necessary and needed, and it's allowing Aaron Nola to not have to be the number 1 guy. You have someone who is the number 1 guy, and you can go and be a 1B to Zach Wheeler 1A.
Yeah. Kale wants to know who takes the blame for that philosophy. And before you answer that, it's probably the same. Listen to this stat. In 2003, there were more Tommy John surgeries amongst professional pitchers than the entire decade of the 1990s combined.
Goodness gracious!
Yeah. I saw that. I saw that on my drive this morning, coming from New Orleans back to Arkansas. I saw that stat. That's where we're in right now, and there's there's a twofold answer to Kale's question. The philosophy really is the front office, because they're the ones who set up what they want, in the front office in today's era of Major League Baseball has the most power now. We saw this if we go back to the Moneyball movie, and saw how Billy Beane went about with Art Howe as far as what hey, you're going to listen to me or else, and I'm going to make the decision for you. And that's what front offices are doing now. They're making decisions for these managers, and they're going to say, hey, we need all 5 pitchers, Harvey, Syndergaard, DeGrom, Matz, and Wheeler. We need them throwing 100 miles an hour. They have to throw 100 miles an hour. They have to go and go put them in programs that is going to let them, because if we have 5 starting pitchers that can throw 100 miles an hour, we're unbeatable. That's the thought process of it. And
you're not throwing, you're not pitching, you're just throwing, and that's the problem with guys too.
But the body can. There's only so many people in this world that can do that. And there's only so many people in this world that can consistently throw 100 miles an hour and their body be able to handle it. One of them is Aroldis Chapman, and you've seen Aroldis Chapman being who pitched for the Chicago Cubs in the World Series. Aroldis Chapman's not a small man. He is not a small man. There's pictures that we've seen of him over the years. That dude is huge. He is a big body, muscular body, and he can handle the torque and stress of throwing 100 to 104 miles an hour. We've seen 104 miles an hour. There's only so many. Again, Paul Skeens. We'll throw Paul Skeens' name out there. Paul Skeens is a big guy. He's not a small man. He's a big guy who effortlessly throws 100 to 102 miles an hour. The body type has to be what allows you to do that. Jacob deGrom is not a big guy. he's tall, but he's kind of slender a little bit. Steven Matz, not a big guy, a little bit of a slender guy. Zach Wheeler, not a big guy. Syndergaard was a big guy, but his body just rejected being able to throw 100 miles an hour. And that's when he had the shoulder issues and elbow issues. Matt Harvey, same thing. A little bit of a bigger guy, not to the side of what Syndergaard was, but the body couldn't handle it. It rejected. The body will tell you what you are capable of doing. I'm no different. I was throwing 90-plus miles an hour the last couple of years in pro ball for me from throwing it from third base. My body rejected that. After a while, it rejected being able to do that, and my velocity after a while went from 91, 92 to 83, 84, and then I ended up having the failing physicals at that point because my body says, we're not capable of doing this. You're not. And so the body will reject it when with what you're trying to achieve, and it will tell you. And that's what these guys, the Grom right now is a prime example. He will when he comes back, he will not throw 100 miles an hour again. He's going to have to rediscover what he does best as a pitcher. That's going to be what
some guys just never can, and some guys never do, or they can never figure out. I'll allow my guy, Kerry Wood on Kerry Wood Day, May 6th. We know 1998, 20 strikeouts against the Houston Astros. So shout out to that history. But a similar situation, a guy that threw 100 miles an hour, his body just could never, and he never adjusted, and his body never kept up.
And for Kale's question as well, it wasn't Showalter. It was Terry Collins. Terry Collins was the manager of the Mets around that time. It wasn't Showalter.
Yeah, he's the one that let him. Collins. Yeah.
So, but again, it was the front office's point of view of saying we want this out of our pitchers, and they sent them to Driveline and sent them to all these programs that were saying we're going to get you to throw 100 miles an hour. The body can't do. The body will. I'm sorry. Let me rephrase. The body will reject what the body cannot do. And if you push the body so far, you're going to have what you see with these guys that are just getting hurt consistently. Now, in today's what we're seeing today, there are other factors on top of it. Obviously, the pitch clock being one. Again, as I've talked with you guys, there's more data that needs to be mentioned. Again, that now the number of Tommy John surgeries we've had over the last year, compared to for an entire decade, years and years ago, that's not a good look. That is
it could be both, right? Could be the way we're pitching and the pitch clock. It could be a combination of
100%. But I think you can then look over the last 10 years. So you take the lap from 2024 now to 2014, and you cut it in half. 5 years of from 2014 to 2019. And then from 2019 to 2015, I know the pitch clock is still relatively new, but we need more. You need a consistent timeline. And if you can actually even look at the last 2 years, so 2022, 2023, 2024, and I know we're still in 2024 right now, but look to the last 2 years in 1 month of the season, and you can kind of get a basis of what the numbers look like Tommy John wise from 2014 to 2019. To what we're seeing, the increase of Tommy John surgery from 2019 to 2024 today. That'll give you a baseline as far as what the difference is right now. Because 2014, you could say at that point was the beginning of the 100 miles an hour pitch. You have to throw 100 miles an hour. I think that was where the timeline where you can start looking at it and saying there's a difference in philosophy beginning. 2019, we're in the middle of that philosophy, really taking shape. To the last 5 years where we're at, to the last 3 years really of the pitch clock era we're in now. I think you can really get a strong case of where we are of the trajectory of those surgeries, and it really being a factor in understanding. I think that's what we have to look at a little bit more and see. But the pitch clock, the drive line, increased velocity on top of pitch clock today now, that's a huge factor in what we're seeing. And I think there is a problem that Major League Baseball has no idea how to fix, because they're still looking at it in the small window of, man, we're finishing 9-inning ball games in 2.5 hours. That's great. How do we make it even faster? How do we get to 220?
Yeah.
Well, you're going to do it at the expense of losing your top pitchers in the game. And we're going to see bad pitching, which at the same time, here's the other side. It's the double-edged sword of it. They don't care. Because what are we seeing in sports right now in the NFL and NBA on top of Major League Baseball? Offense sells tickets. Offense is what drives people to the seats, to the TVs. We want to see NFL wants 35 to 40-point games. The NBA wants 110 to 125 point games, and Major League Baseball wants offense where you see 7, 8, 9, 10 runs that scored a game. So they don't care about the pitching. They don't care about these guys getting hurt. They're showing it right now because they're still the numbers are showing that there's a problem, and they're still looking in the other way and saying, well, how do we make the game shorter? How do we continue to make the game go faster? They're ignoring the issue at hand right now, and that's a huge issue that I view that's not being discussed on why Major League Baseball is avoiding this problem.
Hey, Jonathan, we appreciate you every Monday. Best of luck to you guys on the weekend.
Yeah,
go home, championship, brother. We can't. You guys, time we talk next Monday, guaranteed. So appreciate it. We will celebrate next Monday as you guys are conference tournament, super regional champions, whatever the hell they call it in JUCO. We appreciate you joining us. Tell the kids we wish them luck and kick some ass for us.
And like Tom Biringer said in Major League, win the whole fucking thing.
We end up doing it. I'm having my victory cigar on show with you guys on Monday. That's where that's going to be.
I'll buy one too. Text me. I'll smoke one with you, Jonathan, on Monday as well. We will all light them up. You guys make it to Oklahoma for the championship game. I'll make the trip to Oklahoma to come watch.
Definitely, guys. Definitely, absolutely. I would love to have that happen, and hopefully we make that work out and we get it. We get there. I'm as I tell, hey, we're ring chasing. That's what it is. We're ring chasing. So we got that in our mind. We're gonna go out and handle business now.
Are we gonna be shirtless? Are we gonna be shirtless, Nick? You're the G. I'm the R. We just need 2 other guys to be the I or 3 ISH. We'll be good.
Yeah. All right, Jonathan. Best of luck to you. We'll see you next Monday.
See you guys.
See ya.
Sam, before we get up out of here for the evening, any final thoughts?
Prayers up for Scott. He's going through a rough time. Prayers up for Scott. Going through, my first year as an NBA fan. What an interesting thing. I hated losing tonight by just the mere seconds of it all. But it took me 2 seconds to look down, and Pacers fans are already big mad about offensive fouls or whatnot. But don't let that kind of stuff ruin it. Hey, Kale will ride with you. Kale yeah. Ride. You can split gas.
We'll, go down to Oklahoma. Yeah.
Where the wind blows merrily on the plane. But, don't – the lesson there is when it comes to life anyway, don't let one small thing just hang you up. You know what I mean? Like, there are way worse things you could be dealing with. Don't sweat the small stuff. It's not worth it.
Amen to that. Don't sweat the small stuff. Thoughts and prayers out to Scott. He's still recovering. He's trying to kick cancer's ass. So we're trying to got a message from today. He's out right now. So hopefully he gets better and continues to kick. He's probably watching too many Bruins and Celtics games, and those are stressful. So the Bruins did survive in the hockey land. Celtics kickoff game too. I mean, the Nuggets are getting throttled right now, 43-28 over the.
I don't like it.
Sticking it to them. So we'll see what happens. We'll be back tomorrow or Thursday night for all new Let's Talk Sports show. Sam will have to think of a top 10 to do. So think of that, Sam. That's your homework. 8:00 Central, 9 Eastern. Be a friend. Tell a friend. Like, subscribe, share. Again, please check out my latest episode of the Bodkin Show with Ed in Columbus. It was a great time. Really good. Ed was awesome. Talked all things Cleveland sports. Ed's a great guy, great character. Be a friend, tell a friend, like, subscribe, share. We'll see you Thursday night, 8:00 Central, 9 Eastern. Sam, hit that outro.
Thanks so much for joining us, and until